Yo, what's good, YouTube? So, I'm not gonna lie to you, this vlog is gonna be a bit of a shit show. This was meant to be two separate videos, but I've kind of ended up just fucking things up, and now I'm kind of combining them into one. I was meant to do a separate video on how I've been training for my half marathon while maintaining my physique in the gym, and then I was meant to do a separate vlog about my actual race week itself. Here we are. We are 3 days away from my half marathon. And I've really not put enough content together for either video just yet. So I'm blending them together. So in this video, you're probably going to see a mix and match of stuff. You're going to see me training with clients. You're going to see me talking about, how I've been training for this half marathon, how I've been balancing like the physique work and the prep for the half marathon. And then we're going to go into like the actual race day stuff. Right, got my can of Monster. Let's sit down and have a chat, shall we? So first off, I want to start by kind of talking about just how I've gone about maintaining my physique while focusing on this half marathon prep. Up until the point that I decided to start training for a half marathon, I was in the gym 4 times a week and I was doing 2 runs a week as well. But knowing that my overall kind of like mileage across a week was going to start building up as I prepared for a half marathon distance, I knew there was no way I was going to be able to, carry on with 4 sessions a week in the gym. So when I officially started training, I moved down to 3 sessions a week in the gym so I could accommodate sort of 2 runs per week. Basically, in the 3 sessions I've been doing per week, I've been on the same training program for the entire 12 weeks that I've been on this half marathon prep as well. I've been doing sort of 2 upper body sessions, 1 lower body session. Pretty much up until the back end of last year, I did all my own programming for running. It was kind of one of them when I first started like kind of getting into the idea of running and stuff that I just did loads of research like you normally do, right? And just to keep things simple, I just kind of focused on increasing my overall kind of like mileage or tempos or speed sort of thing by about 10% every single week. But then around 10 weeks ago, I decided to start using Runner to kind of focus on the specific block to lead me up to this half marathon race. And within that, across those sort of 10 weeks, I've been doing a mixture of like interval and tempo style stuff during the week. And then the weekends have been pretty much all just long runs at the same sort of pace all the way throughout. However, I will say I have also been kind of tinkering around with the program that I've been given by Runner. I think it's a pretty cool app, and I think for anyone who's just getting into running and stuff, I think it'll be great for you in the sort of like the short term or if you're just kind of getting started. But there are downsides to it, right? It is an AI app at the end of the day, so it kind of builds programs based on like an optimal sort of setting, right? It doesn't take into account like physical load from, other forms of training. It doesn't take into account like mental stresses and mental load and stuff from just living normal life and stuff. It doesn't really take into account like any other health factors or anything like that. And because of that, there have been some runs scheduled for me which I knew that my body could absolutely not handle based on the amount of training I'm doing, the amount of workload I'm doing, especially when I'm traveling and things like that. So throughout this program, I've been kind of taking deloads when I kind of want to. I'm a big fan of kind of taking deloads from running every sort of 4 weeks to just kind of let the body rest, reset, recharge sort of thing. And then there have been some weeks where I've just completely skipped like my interval run and my tempo run sort of thing and just focused on like the big long run at the end of the week. One thing I've come to learn with running is that I think having the program there is great, and I think having the sort of like structured progress on a week-to-week basis is great. But I think you also kind of have to go by how you feel sometimes. Like I said, there have been weeks where I have just like completely swerved some of the runs that are on my program because I knew that my body just simply couldn't handle it. And then there've been other times as well that I've been scheduled for like easier runs, and by the time I've got to like the end distance, let's say it's a 10 or a 12K for example, I know I've got more in the tank, so I would push myself to do even more. But yeah, that's basically how I've been structuring my training over the last few months. And I'd say I've done a pretty good job of being able to maintain my physique the way I have. I'll throw up some like kind of current progress pics right now to kind of show you where I'm at sort of thing. I always knew I was probably going to gain a little bit of weight, during this half marathon prep because the amount of food I'm having to take in right now to kind of fuel these runs, to help me to recover and stuff like that, right? I was always bound to just gain a little bit of body fat. So I knew I was never going to be anywhere near as lean as I was prior to the half marathon prep. But I'm pretty happy that I've maintained the rig as well as I have done sort of thing. But I will say this, I'm really excited for my race this weekend. But fucking hell, I cannot wait to go back to some physique work after this. All right, good morning. We're in for the final session of the week, doing upper body. I'm at the Foundry Gym, so I've changed the scenery for today. And it's for a good reason. I'm training with one of my clients today. Unfortunately, probably the biggest degenerate of my entire coaching roster. Let me show you.
Guten Morgen. Hallo. Wie geht's?
He's a fake German, by the way. He's actually more Turkish. If you look at him, he's actually more Turkish than German.
Kicking in. Hurry up and do your set, for fuck's sake. Look at him go. I wonder how many times you can mention that he's now over because he's hit 30 years of age.
This guy loves to chirp his coach, despite the fact that he's currently lifting a hell of a lot lighter than me. What's the excuse here?
Fucking Italian scumbag.
That's good, mate. Remember, slow on the eccentric. Good, lock out, good. Slow it down, good. Come on. Look at him. Getting the vest out because he knows he's going on YouTube.
Huh?
Getting the vest out because he knows he's going on YouTube. How long have we worked together now? Too fucking long. Yeah, it's been, I'm sure it's nearly 5 years now we've been working together. But you're going to see his original photo from when we first started. I'm putting up a post next week about his journey with me up to this point.
Training. I use an ottoman as a bench and some makeshift dumbbells.
Oh god, the lockdown times. Yeah, we've been through it all. We've been through it all.
Been through it all, man.
I can't wait, man. Just in the middle of the workout, look what I've also found training in the gym.
What do you want?
Poppy, that's no way to treat your coach.
What should you get me to do?
Yeah? Has it made you, has it turned you into a brick shithouse? Yes or no? There we go. Sorry for going to engage with my other clients.
What's the gym with me?
You're looking pretty jacked from this angle.
Stay there.
Nice and slow on the eccentric, yeah? Good. Joe, he'd be so fucking small if it wasn't for working with me.
Shut up. I know better.
He knows that as well. That right there is someone who absolutely despises my existence for putting the pendulum that late in her program. And she's gonna kill me when she sees this. Forgot to film the bicep movement because me and Hadley were too busy laughing at the fact that the machine was making strange noises, should we say, right? Yeah, it was making you know that classic troll video where someone like puts on like that porn music in the background thing? That's what I thought I heard when I started the set. I thought Hadley was taking the piss, but it was a machine making a very strange sound, so I was laughing too much at that to record it. But we're now onto the final movement, doing overhead tricep extension, 3 sets of 6 to 8. We did 3 sets of 6 to 8 on a preacher curl beforehand, and that's the session done. All right, was good. So session done. That was really fucking good. Probably one of my favorite sessions for a while. I always love mixing things up, you know, going to train in different environments and stuff. That's the first time I've trained at Foundry Gym since it opened up a couple months ago here in Nottingham. But yeah, really good session. Obviously great to always train with clients and stuff, even though Hadley is an absolute wind-up merchant and probably the biggest degenerate out of everyone that I coach. But it's fun. I love training with clients. It's great to build relationships and it's good to just have a laugh with them, sort of thing. But I thought I'd just spend some time now kind of talking about just the way I'm sort of training at the minute, like my sort of style of training when it comes to these sessions. Obviously, my training looks very different to usual right now while I'm obviously prioritizing the half marathon prep. You know, obviously moving down to 3 sessions a week is something I've never done before until obviously starting the, you know, the serious block right now for this half marathon prep. But right now I'm training at what I would consider as like baseline volume. I much prefer doing sort of less sets and more intensity. And I much prefer kind of working in the lower rep ranges as well. I just like the idea of just lifting heavy, you know, focusing on progressive overload every single week sort of thing. But at the same time, you know, the way I train, especially because I do train to failure on every single set sort of thing, you know, I can't afford to be doing 3-4 sets per sort of like exercise sort of thing, or doing, you know, 20-25 plus sets, you know, per session sort of thing. I much prefer going low volume, high intensity, get in, get the job done, get out. When the half marathon's done, I will likely go back to 4 sessions a week in the gym, more likely going back to a traditional kind of upper lower body split sort of thing. You know, I really want to kind of use my time after the half marathon to focus on, you know, kind of getting my physique back to where I want it to be. So obviously I have had to gain a little bit of weight for this half marathon. I think I was maybe a little bit too lean coming into the half marathon prep. So, you know, for the sake of having, you know, more calories in me sort of thing, to be able to burn as I'm obviously kind of going through something as intense as the half marathon prep, you know, have had to gain a little bit of body fat. You know, don't get me wrong, I'm not like massively out of shape or anything like that, but I'm a couple kilos heavier than what I would like to be. Once the half marathon's done, I'm going to be going back to focusing purely on physique work, still running in the background. I'll kind of come on to talk about this in the next YouTube video sort of thing. But like for me, I'll be going back to 4 sessions a week, probably an upper lower style training split, really making the most of all the great equipment I've got in my gym. And yeah, kind of going back to a way that I prefer training, focusing on just kind of a little bit of body recomposition. So, you know, kind of maybe gaining a little bit of muscle back, dropping some body fat sort of thing. Because, Even though right now I've still been training to maintain muscle mass and strength, I'm obviously looking a little bit smaller than what I would do normally. And that's the nature of it. My muscle fibers are kind of geared now more towards, kind of performance and kind of cardiovascular endurance rather than strength work. That when I go back to more sort of physique work and I kind of drop the running back a little bit, I will kind of blow up a little bit more. I will get a little bit leaner, and I'll probably look like I lift again. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, good morning. It is Saturday morning, ready for my final long-ish run of this half marathon block. Like, I say long-ish, it's 9k, which I recognize is long, but in the context of what I've got to do for this half marathon, it's really not that long at all. We're tapering down now, obviously, for the half marathon, and I'm kind of at that stage where I kind of can't be asked to do these runs because it's not the full thing, and I just want to get my ass to the half marathon now and get it done. I'm literally a K and a half into this run, and I've already been stopped by the fucking rail crossing. Great. All right, we are 7Ks into the run. Joe's kind of mad. It's crazy to think that this time next week, I'll be getting ready for my first ever half marathon, which is funny because a year ago, fucking hell, you was lucky if I could do a 3K. I mean, I would do a 5K, but I'd be busting my fucking lungs for it. And I was running like once every couple of weeks, if that. It's mad to see how much I've kind of fallen in love with this, and also how quickly I've progressed. To get to this point where I can do a half marathon is pretty mad. All right, that's the run done. Let me just give you an insight into the logic of this game. Last week, I did a 19k run and I felt great. I could have easily carried on to the half marathon mark, but I had to stop just because obviously that was on the plan. I didn't want to extend any further. That felt easy. That run I've just done there felt fucking awful. Just one of them where it's literally as soon as I started, I was like, nah, this don't feel great. And yeah, by the end of it, I was dead to the world. So, but I know exactly where I've gone wrong, and this is why there's so many intricacies in a half marathon prep that I've come to learn as I've gone through it. Like yesterday, for example, heavily relied on caffeine while I was doing a full day of BB8 check-ins and content and admin and stuff. Very poor hydration. I didn't go to bed till 1 a.m. this morning, stupidly just doom scrolling on my phone. It's my own fucking fault. But it's exactly the reason why I was just under-recovered in today's run, but it is what it is. All right, what's up? Good morning. So it's Saturday morning. I'm just about to head off to Brighton now. Annoyingly, I did just have to repack though, because as I've just checked the weather, very predictable for English weather, but it looks like it's going to be absolutely pissing it down for the race tomorrow. I really should have thought about this more when I booked this, because originally I booked this half marathon thinking, it's March time, the weather's going to be better by then, it's not going to be as cold, I'm going to be running by the coastline, so it's going to be a really, really nice view, nice day and stuff like that. Nah, it ain't looking like that, but we've committed now. Alright, we are in Brighton. I was meant to be going for some food and some coffee with Ben, but we decided to go get a pint because it's nice and sunny. Can have one, maybe two. As long as I don't have too many before the race, I think I'll be alright. Plus I need 4,000 calories down today, so yeah, I'll be alright. Alright then, so just checked into my hotel room right now. Really, really mad, but as I got to my hotel room, I saw the Forest coach outside. Forest are playing Brighton tomorrow. It was a rearranged game. It was rearranged after I'd already booked this half marathon sort of thing. But yeah, as I was like walking up to my hotel room, I saw the Forest coach and I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, it turns out they're staying in the same hotel as me, so which is pretty mad. Anyway, it is, 4:30? It's still pretty damn sunny outside. So I'm going to go for a nice little walk around the seafront, go around the lanes here in Brighton sort of thing, and then figure out what I'm going to do for food. I've got a sneaky suspicion I'm probably going to end up getting a Nando's. When I get back, I'm going to talk about what my sort of like nutrition looks like today. Obviously, day before the race, I'll kind of talk about my sort of my race day nutrition for tomorrow and stuff like that. But yeah, for now, I'm going to go have a little walk around, explore around a little bit, maybe grab some food along the way because I'm still only at 1,400 calories for today. And then we'll go from there. So it turns out I have severely underestimated the amount of calories and carbs in certain foods. I've just put through my Nando's order, right? So I've gone with butterfly chicken, peri chips, rice, and wedges, right? And I'm still nowhere near the amount of carbohydrates I need for the day. So I've just had to do another trip to Tesco to go and pick up some more bits. Some barbecue chips, some Jaffa cakes. Literally, I'm going to have the whole of them, like pretty much all of them. And then another one of these Quaker Oat things as well. And then there's also some more snacks I got earlier on. I think there was like some tortilla chips and stuff like that. That's the extent I'm having to go to right now to get all of these calories in. In hindsight, maybe traveling on the day before a race where I need 4,000 calories and not being able to really prep that much food beforehand, probably not the greatest idea. So I remember that for the next one. Yo, good morning. It is race day. I'm literally just about to get out the door. Oh god, I can't believe it's finally here. I'm excited. But just want to get there now, get warmed up, and just get going. As you can see by the rain jacket, it is pissing it down, so it's going to be a fun race. So I'll check in with you when I'm done. As you can tell by my face, race is done. I'm pretty fucking battered, but can't moan. 2 hours 9 minutes on Strava, 2 hours 10 on the chip time. Definitely what I wanted. Conditions were, being honest, completely fucking horrible. But I'm glad I got through it, so that was really enjoyable. And yeah, as you can see now, got the Guinness in hand. This is how you properly celebrate your first half marathon, so I'm right with that. And I've got Ben with me right now. Ben, how did you find the half marathon today?
It was tough.
Those conditions were horrible.
It was tough. Windy, rainy, cold, typical. It's clear now.
Yeah, literally, as soon as the race finished, it stopped raining. It's not as anywhere was windy and the sun literally came out, so it's fucking typical. But good race overall. First one in the bag for the year. But me and Ben have both said we're both going to go back to doing like 5 and 10Ks now for the summer because fuck doing these distances for a while. Yo, what's good? So it is the day after the half marathon. And first thing I need to say is that's got to be one of the worst sleeps of my entire life. I was so restless last night. I just couldn't settle down. Every part of my body was just aching like crazy. I'm going to throw up my Whoop stats for today, but basically all but confirms that my body is just completely broken right now. So, but I kind of expected this anyway. I've kind of been warned before this that, you're going to feel like absolute death for a couple of days after a half marathon. And do you know what? They weren't wrong, because that's exactly how I feel today. But I wanted to just kind of give some post-race thoughts now that I've had some time to kind of, well, I say sleep on it, not get much sleep on it. It's the first time in a very long time that I've been able to sit back and be proud of myself. Like, to be able to go on this journey, because it's definitely not been easy. This running journey has really required a lot out of me that I didn't know I had in me, if that makes sense. Like, I've had to really push through in this half marathon prep, especially with doing most of the prep over winter. I've had to drag my ass out of bed at 6 a.m. when, it's pitch black outside, it's freezing, it's below 0 temperatures, likely pissing it down outside sort of thing. The conditions horrible, right? I've had to really drag myself out a lot of times when I didn't want to do stuff, because I knew I had to do it if I wanted to be able to go and do this half marathon. You know what I mean? I've had to be a lot more disciplined with myself. Naturally, discipline and kind of routine and stuff like that and structure is something I have to do with my life anyway, but I've had to really zone on it even more and make the most of my time, make the most of my recovery and stuff like that to make sure that I'm okay for my, my weekly runs and to progress them sort of thing to get to this point. I've had to be a lot more dialed in with my nutrition. I've had to really work on my scheduling a lot more and stuff to make the time for these longer runs and stuff like that without it impacting my business, without it impacting the work I do for my clients, and making sure I've got enough time for the other things that matter. Spending time with family, friends, my niece, stuff like that. So, I wrote this in my journal, but I really do feel like starting this running journey has made me become a better person. I feel like I'm a lot more resilient right now. I'm much more disciplined. I feel like I've also got a greater sense of appreciation for the little things in life as well. The simple things of being able to get up and go for a run and kind of catch the sunrise in the morning sort of thing. Be able to run outside in nature, by the beach, by the river sort of thing, and just appreciate more of just the natural world around me sort of thing. And just appreciate life away from my laptop or my phone screen. You know what I mean? And in many ways, I think I've actually become a better coach from it as well. I think really being able to drag myself through those really tough situations where I've had to get myself out for runs when I really didn't want to do it sort of thing, especially when I've had a lot of personal stuff going on in the background. Like, being able to kind of take that experience and carry that over to my clients who are going through their own personal stuff and, going through, weight loss journeys, whatever like that, while dealing with, the chaos of normal life sort of thing. I feel like I've been able to coach people a lot better since going through this journey myself. So I've gained a lot out of this running journey. And, for me, this is just scratching the surface of it, right? The first thing I did when I crossed the line straight away, I was like, right, I've enjoyed this. I love the moment. I love the race. I love the buzz. I love the atmosphere with it. But now I know I want to do more. I'm not bothered about doing a full marathon. Probably never will. But I really want to now look at improving my time, get below 2 hours in like my next half marathon sort of thing. I want to improve my 5 and 10K time, stuff like that. This is definitely not the end of my running journey just because I've done the one half marathon sort of thing. Fair enough, I've now done the distance, but I want to keep getting better at it, and I want to keep doing more with it, and I want to really integrate this as part of my lifestyle, because for me now, running is not just a tool towards a certain reward like a half marathon or whatever. It's not a tool for me to stay in shape or whatever like that. It's something I've been doing now a lot, and I've come to realize this now. I've been doing this a lot for my own mental health. I feel like it's one of the ways in which that's been able to improve my standards and improve my ability to coach people as well. So I want to keep doing it more for that sort of sake as well. But yeah, it's been fun prepping for this half marathon. I'm almost kind of sad now that the prep's over with. I'm proud of my performance yesterday, sort of thing, but I really can't wait to do more with it. But yeah, I need to get myself back home now and get ready for just a normal week of work again. I've kind of been spending a lot of time building up to this, and now it's done. It's like, shit, I've got to go back to normal life. So, but yeah, I need to pack up, get out of my hotel, get my train back to Nottingham. But yeah, thank you for tuning in for this video, and I will see you in the next one.